Oh boy, hurricane force winds? This is the perfect day to play with my little colorful spinny thing.
Kevin, I need you to listen to me.
Mom, is that you?
What? No, Kevin, What? I don't even sound like your mom. Why would you think I'm your mom?
I don't know, I just thought you might be my mom.
No, Kevin. No, I'm here to tell you that right now you can use code IMMORTAL on all G Fuel products to get 30% off your entire order until June 17th.
30%? Gee whiz.
Gee whiz is right, Kevin. Be sure to tell your friends.
You got it, Mom.
I'm not your mom, Kevin.
So E3 is now well underway, and because of that, we've now got some brand new information regarding our official Call of Duty 2019 title, Modern Warfare. Infinity Ward has been busy all events long, hosting various interviews and panels discussing the Modern Warfare title, primarily the campaign aspect of it and what they plan to do with their alternative reality Modern Warfare game. However, they have also shed some light, albeit pretty vaguely, but shed some light nonetheless on Spec Ops and even multiplayer. So today, we're not just taking a look at all of the new information that E3 has given us so far regarding MW, but we're also getting into some real talk and focusing in on what Modern Warfare needs to do to succeed. What's up guys, Zach or Immortal here, welcome back to the channel, and as always, thanks for stopping by. If you are new here and you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, ranging from news to leaks to rumors and everything else in between, feel free to hit that sub button and turn on your post notifications as we are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it does really help the channel out. And now let's get into Modern Warfare, all the new information we have about the game, and also what the game absolutely needs to succeed. For starters, as I somewhat alluded to in the intro, because of these various E3 interviews and panels, we did get the official confirmation that Special Operations, or Spec Ops as it is better known, is in fact the third game mode within Modern Warfare, and of course it is built specifically around the idea of cooperative play. Of course, back in MW2 we saw Spec Ops, and quite honestly, those missions were some of my favorites in the entire game. And now we know for sure this mode is coming back, and it's going to be equally as wild, out there, and brutal as the campaign is. And another new piece of information that was also discovered via E3 is that Modern Warfare, unlike any other Call of Duty title preceding it, is going to be extremely interconnected, meaning the world you live in inside of the campaign is the same world that you're going to live in through Spec Ops and even multiplayer. And this bit of intel, personally, I find to be pretty intriguing, specifically regarding the multiplayer aspect of it. I mean, to be fair, connecting the Spec Ops and campaign worlds kind of just makes sense, especially if the Spec Ops missions are essentially just an extension of the campaign. But multiplayer, on the other hand, has kind of just always been its own thing. And while it does stay true to the campaign and quote-unquote stays on topic, if you will, I'm kind of curious to see if somehow the brutal story of the campaign is going to transfer into multiplayer, and we'll essentially see a story told there as well. I mean, in the past, MP has always been pretty storyless, but this idea of having one whole game connected instead of just a game with 3 different modes, and that whole interconnectedness involved there, I really do find to be pretty interesting. And above all, I am the most curious to see how exactly that affects multiplayer for this year. And speaking of multiplayer, the E3 Coliseum panel that Infinity Ward hosted also ended up shedding some light on some multiplayer intel for the very first time this year. Now, what you guys are seeing on the screen right now is some actual in-game images that are running on the new engine that Modern Warfare was built on. The first image you guys are seeing is going to be a direct multiplayer image, so this is essentially our very first look at multiplayer within Modern Warfare. And you can clearly see a person dressed in a ghillie suit holding a suppressed sniper rifle that is also cloaked a bit with some camouflage. Now, just off of this image alone, personally, I sense a pretty tactical and realistic theme going on, and we know those are two very prominent ideas in the campaign, so really, I see no reason why those elements of gameplay would not transfer over to multiplayer. Then, another thing I get from this image in particular is some camping. I mean, I know someone out there is looking at this going,
"Let's go, I'm laying prone on the hill and ain't nobody gonna see me."
Why are you the way that you are?
Now, the second image we got from this panel is this one right here, which showcases, of course, the iconic Juggernaut suit, which we have seen in the past in MW2 with the Spec Ops missions in particular, and also in MW3 multiplayer as a kill streak. Now, what's pretty interesting about this image in my mind is that when showing this, Infinity Ward specifically mentions that this is an aspect of Spec Ops and that the Juggernaut will be a prominent feature in that mode particularly. So, although these images were shown while on the topic of multiplayer discussion, we're not really 100% sure if the Juggernaut will be a kill streak or some sort of addition to the multiplayer gameplay, or if it's just going to be something that is exclusive to Spec Ops and maybe the campaign as well. Aside from that though, we also got some new details on some of the various characters involved in the campaign, including one Captain John Price, who is actually a character that we're going to end up battling beside, and that means we will not be playing as Captain Price this year, but instead a handful of other characters, such as Kyle Garrick and also Alex, who apparently is just too cool to have a last name. A few other characters are brought up in this discussion as well, and I'll link the full article covering it down in the description below if you would like to catch up on all of the campaign specifics that we know about so far. For now though, let's shift focus to directly addressing Infinity Ward. IW, what do you guys need to do to make Modern Warfare a success? Well, first and foremost, a huge feature and addition to the game that we've actually brought up a few times here in the past that I think absolutely needs to be capitalized on is that of the free-to-play components. Now, a little while back, Kotaku actually unveiled that Activision is considering a free-to-play component in Modern Warfare. And we now know that the traditional Season Pass is not returning this year, and that DLC maps will all be free post-launch. So that in and of itself is absolutely huge. But if there is to be any other kind of free-to-play elements in the game, whether that be multiplayer as a whole or other DLC, whatever they do decide to make free, it needs to be pushed and it needs to be a very big focus for support throughout the year. And speaking of supports, that is another huge thing that this game is going to need. We are pretty much in the age of gaming where post-launch support is arguably even more important than the launch of the game. And while Black Ops 4 was claimed to be the most updated Call of Duty title yet, and I mean, technically it is with the weekly market refreshes and playlist updates, if Modern Warfare is to break that COD cycle of, 4 to 5 months in, we start to see a rapid decline in the overall player count, all of the free maps, the new weapons, the new modes, whatever other DLC we may see, it needs to be frequent. To me, I think going forward, thanks to Black Ops 4, every single Call of Duty game released needs to be the most updated COD game in franchise history. Modern Warfare is going to have to top Black Ops 4. It's going to have to be the new most updated game in COD history. Then Black Ops 5 is going to need to be the most updated game in COD history. Then Modern Warfare 2 or whatever else comes after BO5 is going to need to be the most updated COD game in history. That's just kind of where we're at in gaming now, and post-launch support is going to be absolutely vital for this game. In addition to all of that, one thing I personally would love to see included in the game, specifically on the multiplayer side of things, is that of some sort of secret callable streak. Now, I'm emphasizing the callable aspect of that because, I don't know, there's just something extra satisfying about physically letting the enemy team know that you just dropped a 25 kill streak or a 30 kill streak by calling in the Moab or the nuke or the chem strike. I mean, sure, the nuclear medal is cool, but a nuke, I mean, like, come on, man, you just can't beat the nuke, right? Like, it's the nuke. It's the end-all, be-all there. Anyways, as far as the actual streaks go, I don't really think I have a big preference on whether or not we see kill streaks or point streaks or score streaks or whatever else, but a secret kill streak obtained via dropping a certain amount of kills in a row without dying, that is an absolute must-have aspect to me. And last, but most certainly not least, the final thing for today that I think Infinity Ward needs to be on top of is community interaction and communication. Preview new updates, talk about what you're working on, get us excited, but also follow through. Address issues with the game that arise, and overall just keep us in the loop. Something I feel like Treyarch sort of missed out on is frequent communication. Now, I'll give it to them when stuff is actually going on, when there's a new operation coming up, or there's new maps dropping, or simply there's a new title update. Yeah, Treyarch is talkative, they post a lot, but in the downtime in between the updates, the communication is a little more lackluster, and that's personally a big thing that I think can be improved upon for Modern Warfare. And with that being said, that is effectively going to wrap things up for today. Let me know your thoughts on Modern Warfare so far down in the comments below. Are you excited? Are you a little hesitant? I'm curious to know. Of course, if you guys are new here to the channel and you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on. That way you'll always know when I upload a new video. And lastly, if you are looking to pick up some G Fuel, try out a new flavor, or just simply restock, make sure to use code IMMORTAL so you can take advantage of that 30% discount while it lasts. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.